What is going on, Chief High Smoke? Back to you with another 2026 NFL team mock draft. In this one, I'm doing the Baltimore Ravens. And in 2026, for Lamar Jackson, it will be make it or break it for the Ravens. If it was a failure with his time in Baltimore or not. This guy is a great player, but he's never been a leader of men. He's a guy in the regular season who is the best player on the field physically, but mentally once he gets to the playoffs in a big game, he continues to fail. And the Ravens have brought in a new regime. Jesse Minter, a defensive coordinator from the Chargers. Harbaugh, he's now the Giants head coach, but Minter was under his brother with the Chargers. I really think the Ravens have lost their identity. This team was one of the best defenses of all time. They continued to reload at the defensive positions. And, we're always top 10 defensively, but really have gotten away from that. And I really think Jesse Minter, the signing of him being the head coach of the Ravens, has to do with getting back to that identity of being one of the best defenses in the league. Now, Lamar Jackson in 2026, his time could be coming to an end in Baltimore, just like Joe Burrow's time in Cincinnati could be coming to an end. I think there's a 1-year window that Jesse Minter is going to give Lamar Jackson. He can't get rid of him in year one. You've already heard some of the trade rumors already about Joe Burrow possibly headed to Minnesota, Lamar Jackson possibly being traded as well. Now these guys are going to command a bunch of first-round picks. I do think Joe Burrow is going to get more of a package than Lamar Jackson, being that Burrow is a pocket quarterback that could last a little longer in his career, and Lamar Jackson is a out-of-the-pocket guy who could possibly get injured, into a few years into going to a new team. But the first thing is they got to see what Lamar wants to do with his contract. They got to see if he wants to be with the Ravens long term. Does he want to go through this new regime with Jesse Minter? It's either going to be an extension or restructure. His cap hit is 75 million or 75 million. They have 22 million in cap right now, so they can get a bunch of cap space if they restructure Lamar's contract. They got to do it by March 11th. If they can't do that, they got to extend guys or restructure contracts of Roquan Smith or Matabuke, who is going to be healthy in 2026. Another priority for the Ravens this offseason is signing Linderbaum, their center. Everybody wants this guy. He's the premier offensive lineman on the market in 2026, just like Ronnie Stanley was last year. The Ravens were able to sign him. I think they're able to sign Linderbaum. Worst case scenario, you franchise tag him. Now that would be $28 million for a center. I don't think that they will do that, but Linderbaum is going to command $19 to $20 million a year. That is priority for the Ravens, and if they can restructure the contract of Lamar Jackson, they can definitely sign Linderbaum to a big deal. I think they got to cut Marlon Humphrey, sign a guy like Draymond Jones, who played well for them and is a free agent in 2026. It's going to be pretty hard to re-sign Isaiah Likely, but I think with the contract extension of Lamar Jackson, they can get Linderbaum and Isaiah Likely done, being that the cap goes up every single year. There's a few guys in free agency they can get, but if they re-sign Likely and Linderbaum, they're not going to have much money available left. They do have a lot of draft capital, so that is one thing that they have going for them. But, with the signing of Jesse Minter, the Chargers defensive coordinator, they could get, a Khalil Mack in free agency, who I know is mid-30s, but still, can get you 10 sacks a year. Also, a linebacker, Shaq Thompson, as well. I think they're going to lose DeAndre Hopkins, Aloni Gilman, a safety, Wallace, wide receiver, Noteboom, Jenkins, Cleveland, an offensive lineman. And I'm going to really address the interior offensive line in the draft, the interior defensive line, the edge rushers, I'm going to get a corner. I'm also going to get a wide receiver as well. Now, let's get into the draft. At pick number 14, I have the Ravens selecting Vega Leon, a interior offensive lineman, a guard from Penn State. Now, typically, I don't like to take a guard this early, but really, this is a big position of need for the Ravens. They can trade back here into the 20s and hope Leon falls to them, but it would be a big gamble. So I would just rather take Leon here at 14, get the guard play out of the way here. He's going to be a 10-year starter for you at guard moving forward. Someone that can step in day one, and help Lamar Jackson in 2026. He's a prototypical guard for physical run schemes with thick limbs, a broad frame, and plus core strength. Leon plays with excellent contact balance and technique on both base blocks and double teams. He uses his hips and hands for leverage and displacement when dry blocking. However, he lacks athleticism and foot quickness to operate effectively as a move blocker. He pass sets with good posture and a firm punch and can anchor against power. Though quicker at a lighter weight in 2025, he will struggle with twitchy interior defenders who cross his face in the run game and attack his edges in protection. Despite scheme dependence, Leon projects as an early starter with a high floor. Now, this is a position of need for the Ravens, and I do think Leon steps in right away for the Ravens. A guy like Haloti Ngata, now they grab Vega Leon out of Penn State here at pick number 14. At pick number 45 in the second round, I have them addressing interior defensive tackle here, Lee Hunter, defensive lineman from Texas Tech. Hunter is a two-gapping nose tackle for odd or even fronts. He has the size, strength, and length to do battle in the heart of the trenches, but requires better block-on technique to sit firmer in his sets. He won't win in gaps, but he can stack and shed single blocks or slide and stabilize his run fit against zone blocks. Hunter's girth and length are advantages when aligning over the center as a run defender. He doesn't have enough quickness as a rusher to see many passing downs, but he can dent the pocket with his power. Hunter projects as an early down space eater who can make interior offensive linemen work for their gaps. So at pick number 45, I have the Ravens addressing that interior defensive line with Lee Hunter, a defensive tackle from Texas Tech. At pick number 80, I have the Ravens addressing a wide receiver here, getting Lamar Jackson a weapon in 2026. You might have seen this guy in the National College Football Playoff Championship game, played for Indiana with Fernando Mendoza. Omar Cooper Jr., a wide receiver from Indiana at pick number 80. Now, Cooper Jr. is not the fastest wide receiver, but what he does is he gives you a good route tree, can catch the back shoulder. That's what he specializes in, the spectacular catch, but definitely not the fastest wide receiver in this draft class, but a solid wide receiver who doesn't drop the football and is a sure thing that can really help Lamar Jackson move the football. If they were to lose an Isaiah Likely in free agency, they can get someone like Cooper Jr. in the third round at pick number 80 here. Now, Cooper is a lot of fun to watch on tape, whether it be making some of the more spectacular aerial catches in college football or making would-be tacklers looking like they are frozen in ice. Cooper can make all the highlights seem routine. Then the football IQ combined with his competitive spirit of never giving up on a play, whether it be an improvised route or if his quarterback needs him to move out of the pocket to avoid the rush, extend and contort and fight for balls in the air, to fight for every yard after the catch, or open up gaps for runners to find space in. There is no quit for Cooper on tape, and it's hard not to root for him in the NFL. So I have the Ravens picking up a really good playmaker here at pick number 80, Omar Cooper Jr., someone with big game experience with Fernando Mendoza at Indiana, the wide receiver. At pick number 115 in the fourth round, I have them taking Malachi Lawrence, an edge rusher from UCF. Have them, addressing that pass rusher. That was something they didn't get in 2025, was home to the quarterback. And, they need to get that pass rusher back to where it once was. And I think Jesse Minter will do that in free agency in the back end of the draft. I have them picking up Malachi Lawrence, an edge rusher from the University of Central Florida, at pick number 115 for the Ravens here. Lawrence only projects as a designated pass rusher because of his struggles in run defense. Despite his size, he plays soft against the runs, failing to anchor and maintain his gap. Lawrence is at best when pretending to disrupt run plays in the backfield or in pursuit. He needs to improvise his ability to stack and shed offensive linemen while holding the point of attack. Lawrence's main game is rushing the passer, and they need to get someone that can get to the quarterback here. And Lawrence is going to be coming in on third and long situations for the Ravens, and this guy could possibly get 5 sacks for you as a rookie in the 4th round in 2026. So at pick 115, I have the Ravens taking Malachi Lawrence, an edge rusher from the University of Central Florida. At pick 152, I have the Ravens taking Treydon Stukes, a cornerback from Arizona, addressing that cornerback position, possibly releasing Marlon Humphrey, a longtime Raven cornerback, and picking up a corner here in the back end of the draft. At pick 152, Treydon Stukes, a cornerback from Arizona. Stukes gravitates towards the football and consistently gets his hands on it at every level of the field with an explosive downhill trigger. He isn't afraid to get mixed up in the run game or take on blocks and drives through tackles when he gets there. His nickel and safety versatility give him a pathway to being a 3-down defensive chess piece for an NFL defense. The former walk-on at Arizona has an incredible journey in college football and is coming off a fantastic season where he earned AP third-team All-American and second-team All-Big 12 honors after suffering a knee injury in 2024 and only playing in 4 games. Stukes made an impactful return to the Wildcats defense in 2025 with 52 tackles, 24 solo, a tackle for loss, 1 sack, 4 interceptions, and 6 passes defended. His impact was felt all over the field for the Wildcats, and I see the Ravens picking up a steal here at cornerback, Treydon Stukes, a corner from the Wildcats, the Arizona Wildcats, at pick 152. At pick number 160, there was 2 options here. They have 3 fifth round picks, and this was an insurance plan if they weren't able to sign Linderbaum. Pat Coogan, a center from Indiana, played in a bunch of big games here. I got them taking him here just in case they're not able to sign Linderbaum to a big contract. Remember, he's going to hit free agency. But if they were able to get Linderbaum, I probably got them taking a tight end here to match up with Likely. Or if they're not able to sign Isaiah Likely, possibly getting a tight end earlier here in the 4th round or earlier with their first pick in the 5th round. But I got them taking at 160 Pat Coogan, the center from Indiana, Fernando Mendoza's offensive lineman in those championship games. At pick 172, I have them picking up some tackle depth. Trey Zune, the third in offensive tackle from Texas A&M. They signed Stanley to a big deal. Their right tackle seems to be pretty good, but I have them getting some offensive line depth at the tackle position here with this pick. Trey Zune from Texas A&M at pick 172. And then at pick 173, I have them taking DeMond Claiborne. Then at pick 173, I have them taking DeMond Claiborne, a running back from Wake Forest, getting some insurance for Derrick Henry. They could go tight end here as well. Get 2 tight ends here in the 5th round. Maybe get a blocking type of a tight end for Lamar Jackson in this running game moving forward. But for me, It's Lamar Jackson. Is he really going to buy into the Ravens and this new coaching staff? Is he really going to be all in 100% in 2026? If he's not, the Ravens are going to move on from him in 2027. They aren't going to get the draft haul they would have if they would have traded him this year. But he does have a huge cap hit, $75 million. It starts with restructuring his contract, signing Linderbaum, getting Isaiah Likely back, getting some veterans on this defense like Khalil Mack, Shaq Thompson, and I think Jesse Minter will get this defense back to the elite play that it once was in the early 2000s. Guys, if you can, go check out my buddy Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Daniel does highlights on the NFL, NBA, MLB, hockey, Olympics, wrestling, you name it. Daniel's got it. You're with your family, you're at work. You can't watch every single game. That's why there's Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. That's Berry, Berri. Also does play-by-plays on the Dodgers, Rams, and Lakers. If you're a fan of those teams, go over there and just say what's up to Daniel. He does play-by-plays all the time. Go check him out. Good chat over there. Also check out my buddy DeCave Cast. Does Chiefs content and draft content. Just dropped his top 5 defensive tackles. Make sure you go check him out. Does a show, TJ and Mike. DeCave Cast with a K, K-A-S-T at the end. Make sure you spell it right. Go sub to his channel. Go watch his content. Really good content. Puts a lot into his channel. And go check out my buddy R&J Podcast, who's going to be doing Raiders content very soon after the hiring of Clint Kubiak. Also getting Fernando Mendoza in the draft. So a lot of things going on for the Raiders and the content creators. Check out my buddy R&J Podcast. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.